Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders.
We got this.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
Single.
Snap.
Throwing on first down is Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw it is Locke. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of, oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Block now on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Another try after the first down sack. Locke. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out time, guys. Out time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
On 2nd down now. It's Jacobs, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He chalked that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Go.
I got motion. 47.
Looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
5. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Hit it.
They'll set up to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Down. 60 outlaw.
Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Coaching spell. Shoot.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
Here we go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the turnover, here's Locke. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now a carry for Lindsey. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. That's caught inside the 20. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. Back in the first quarter, you said it. They need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Locke. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Touchdown.
That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it, and as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to overcommit against the run. You have to almost sell out and say, they're going to run it, go make a play. They got fooled on that one.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Go!
2nd and 11. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, we are.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
70, Indy.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
23 yards. First down, Denver.
2 minutes on the clock. 2nd quarter. 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Throwing on 2nd and long. Locke. He's got this complete to Hamilton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Locke. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
4 down, even. Check 50, check 50.
Locked to throw for it on fourth. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Look at me, zipper. Hey, orbit.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
Brandon McManus for the Broncos field goal. An 18-yard attempt.
And McManus able to put it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah. We'll
find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Shift.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Jim, look, squeeze. Now.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Ready?
On play action, they'll throw. Looking downfield for Jones. That's caught inside the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Let's go.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That's it, baby.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They'll run with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Move. We got 4.
From the 44, Locke. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season. To throw on 3rd down. Locke. He wants it all for the end zone. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's our time. It's our time.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Broncos 17.
Mike 34.
Raiders 7.
You don't want none, baby.
Recon, 132 fighter.
You don't want it.
Ready.
They're going to look to throw. Pass incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
34's the Mike. 34's the Mike. He's coming. Check him. Check him. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Hey.
Mike 34. Scoot. All right, D, let's go. All right.
Yep.
Hey, check Mike 34. Mike 34.
Smooth.
Go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking down, and that's caught inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Looking downfield for Jones. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Lindsey. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Rock going to throw. And got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Another run by Lindsey. And an alley to run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 18. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having a...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Lindsey. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. It's a gain of 7 on the carry, but they'll need to double that here. It's 3rd and 14. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They look to throw. It's Locke. Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ty Long now, standing just about on his own goal line. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, hell, to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Now.
A lot going to throw it here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, Haywood.
Back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Intended for Foster Moreau. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he finds his target. It's sharp. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Raider first down.
Ten Lobo.
First
Hey,
and 10 at
Wahoo.
the 49-yard line.
Pull it together. Mike's Mike's 47. Come with it. 47's the Mike. 47's the Mike. Hey, exit. 47's the Mike, boys. 47. Check. Hit it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. He talked about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Broncos, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.